Just off of his win against Luke Rockhold at the 278th UFC, Paulo Costa is back again to entertain fans outside of the ring. This time, he even managed to pull in Henry Cejudo and the Schmo in an exercise that involved his secret juice. Let's take a look at the competition and talk more about that secret juice of his, starting with the push-up competition. The athlete came on as a guest on the Triple C and Smo show and offered both hosts some of his bottled secret juice, while also calling for a push-up competition. Well, what he said was that he brought his juice with him, asking the host's wife to bring them 2 cups and to keep the liquid safe. It's then that he proposed a push-up competition to prove that his drink actually works. After a ritual-like shot of the juice, both Cejudo and the Schmo took positions and started doing push-ups, while the fighter stood by, keeping score of how many reps each of their hosts could manage. After a few cycles of hard pushing each other, both had had enough. Costa screamed at the might of his secret juice before raising the hands of the former bantamweight champion, calling him out to be the unanimous winner. Both athletes were left surprised by his drink and at how full of energy they found themselves to be. Moreover, Paulo Costa and his secret juice have been inseparable. The fighter's secret juice was first seen at his weigh-ins at UFC 278, which in fact was a dig at the US anti-doping agency's inhumane ways of testing before any fight. Furthermore, he accused USADA of randomly coming over to his hotel room early in the morning and demanding a test, followed by a tweet in which he bashed the organization and talked about how difficult it is to cut weight and how tiresome giving out blood samples while he's dehydrated is, and thus the secret juice was born. This was really an attempt at protesting against the incident and was loved and embraced by fans and avid Twitter users who loved the hilarious gimmick. The act stuck with him, and now the bottle goes wherever Costa goes. The two have become inseparable. Not just that, the fighter was able to come from an awful weight loss and fight off his losing streak against Luke Rockhold, the ex-middleweight champion, in a fight of the night performance. While the contents of his drink are still unknown, Cejudo and Schmo may just be the first people from the MMA world to try it out. So what exactly is his secret drink? Costa finally revealed some ingredients. Furthermore, what's in his juice? We all know about his secret juice after his stunt with USADA. Since he wrote it on a bottle in really bold letters, the fighter showed it off at UFC 278, both at the weigh-ins and the post-fight press conference, though we're all sure that the organization hated it. During the MMA hour, he said that people might think it's a joke, but no, he does drink it and it works. It reportedly helped him a lot. But when asked about what he puts inside of it, he just said that if he gave out the ingredients, it wouldn't be a secret any longer, now would it? Instead, he'd have to call it revealed juice. The fighter seems adamant about letting everyone know that it isn't a meme and that it makes an actual difference in his life. The beefy Brazilian MMA star may have served a suspension for using banned IVs back in 2019, but he ended up learning from the mistakes he made and continued to steamroll into the middleweight division. He may have been very secretive about the ingredients he uses, but he's slowly been letting us in on it. The drink has kokum, lemon, and ginger, along with more things that he's bound to talk about in the future. Since he does want everyone to know about it and have a chance at this mysterious drink, he even claims that it's useful for inflammatory injuries. Lastly, fans react to the gimmick. Paulo Costa successfully managed to make it into the middleweight bracket in the UFC for his fight against Luke Rockhold. The fighter managed to weigh in at 185.5 pounds with a huge bottle of his secret juice in his hand, and fans are going wild. Fans all around the globe were amazed by his actions, with the Twitter user calling the Brazilian fighter the biggest Chad in the promotion's history. As soon as he made weight, he decided to flip off USADA in a social media post and voice his frustrations. Not just that, but people have started to consider him to be one of the funniest fighters of all time. MMA is so much more fun to watch with someone like him in the spotlight. Another comment talking about how insane the MMA is with a man saying the F word to an anti-doping agency while holding a bottle that says secret juice. While the fighter managed to avoid any kind of problems with his weight this time, that wasn't true for some of his previous fights. When he was against Marvin Vettori just last October, he came in a little over the limit for middleweight, and the match had to be moved up to heavyweight because of this. Though it's good that this time he has so much support behind him, and the fighter has also managed to properly balance his issues out. Hopefully his stunt can bring about some changes in the way that USADA operates. Next, in other news, MMA's worst-kept secret confirmed. Earlier this week, many prominent members were able to attend Wednesday's Media Day event, along with the official weigh-ins and face-offs on Friday, but the UFC had already made it clear by announcing that they weren't allowed to cover any of the fights themselves. The big rumor was that Mark Zuckerberg, founder and CEO of Facebook, would be attending as well. For that reason alone, the only media coverage allowed there was the promotional broadcast partner, ESPN, that aired the events on ESPN+. During her Media Day interview, even headliner Mackenzie Dern said that she's 100% sure that Mark exclusively rented out the entire event. The way she said it got on Dana White's, president of the UFC, nerves. He replied to her by saying that it was total bullcrap and that Zuckerberg did not rent out the event, but White failed to give any solid reason as to why it's just a rumor. Moreover, him getting so defensive over the issue just ends up sounding like Dern is right. Moving on, Bilal Muhammad says Khabib Nurmagomedov will corner him. In his upcoming fight against Sean Brady on the 22nd of October at Etihad Arena, Abu Dhabi, Bilal is going to have Lewis Taylor, Mike Valle, and Hall of Famer Khabib Nurmagomedov in his corner. On his podcast, Remember the Show, Bilal talks about it, saying that they're going to have the GOAT, Khabib. Even if he's going to be in the third corner, it's still going to be amazing. The fighter has been training for this fight in Dubai with Khabib and his team, who are also helping prep Islam Makhachev for his lightweight title fight against Charles Oliveira. This team up with the star and his team took place through their mutual manager, Ali Abdelaziz, from Dominance MMA. Bilal already got a taste of similar training before he went on to break Vicente Luque's winning streak the last time he fought in the UFC. All we've got left to see is if his training with them pays off for him. Would he be able to take the title this time? Finally, Pico loses due to injury. MMA featherweight Aaron Pico from Albuquerque lost his fight to Canada's Jeremy Kennedy in Long Beach, California. Pico suffered an injury to his left shoulder as he got a first-round TKO on a Bellator card. The fighter's 6-fight winning streak came to an end as he dropped to 10-4, while Kennedy's rises to 18-3. At the start of the first round, Pico signaled to his corner that something was up with his left shoulder and it was bothering him. After Kennedy took his back, took him down, and worked him for a rear naked choke, completely dominating the first round, he admitted that he had no idea the fighter was injured. As they made it to the round's end, Pico had his cornerman Brandon Gibson try to pop his supposedly dislocated shoulder back into place, but his doctor was much more concerned about him suffering from a broken collarbone and ended the fight right there and then. Despite all of this, the fighter can't wait to get back in the ring and prove his worth once again. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on his special juice? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.